What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your co-host, Donovan Quick, and today we're going to be going over why can't the Dolphins beat good teams. But before we get into that, I want to say please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications when our videos drop. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the beginning of December, so please don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, without further ado, let's get right into it. So our three losses against the Bills, lost by 28, against the Eagles, lost by 14, against the Chiefs, lost by 7. So these are all good teams in the NFL. These are all top tier teams in the NFL. All of them ranked top 10. Bills probably fringe top 7. So why can't we beat these good teams? It's a lot of little things with this. It's not any one thing that we're doing wrong. It's a bunch of little miscues here and there, along with certain environmental things that you can't really control. Like, for instance, the stadium that you're playing at. We went at the Bills. Now, I had this marked as a loss. I had a splitting with the Bills this season. So at the Bills, I have as a loss. At Bills at home, I had as a win. So I did have that marked as a loss before the season. Going into Buffalo, hostile environment. They just came off of beating the Commanders. That was their 2-game win streak going into the game. They had lost to the Jets. They kind of had the mentality, we're not going to lose again to a divisional opponent. So they came in there tough-minded and just kicked the crap out of us. We were coming off a high of beating the Broncos. Now, in that game against the Broncos, we lost Connor Williams. Connor Williams went out in the mid-third quarter with a groin injury. So Liam Eichenberg played a quarter and a half at center for the first time in his career. His first ever start was against the Buffalo Bills. Now the Buffalo Bills aren't doing that good, but if you look at the circumstances, the Bills now, they're not doing that good because their defense sucks. Why does their defense suck? Because they have so many injuries all around. And I think in the Dolphins game at the very end, they lost one of their corners, and they lost another corner in the Jacksonville game the very next week. They lost Matt Milano in the Jacksonville game. So yeah, there's a reason that they're not doing good right now, and it's because of their defensive injuries. They're not as deep on defense as some other teams. With us, we went in there without Connor Williams, Liam Eichenberg making his first ever start, right? So with Liam Eichenberg, our offense, if you look at every game with all the motions and the timing of it, it is very important that the snap gets there at a certain time, the snap gets off at a certain time. And with being in a hostile environment like the 3 games that we were, it's not as easy. You have to work on your silent counts. And that's what I'm seeing mostly with the Dolphins' issues, is that the snap isn't necessarily getting there at a good time. Liam Eichenberg started 2 of the 3 games that we lost, right? Going to the Chiefs game, everybody's like, okay, it wasn't an Arrowhead. Was it really a hostile environment? Look, I had that marked as a win before the season because it was in Germany, and I was expecting a kind of like a 50-50 split between the fans. But those fans, bro, they showed out. A credit to Chiefs fans for showing up and showing out in Germany, and they were loud. I would argue that place is as loud, if not like a little bit below Arrowhead, and Arrowhead is the loudest stadium in the NFL. So, to really have the fans travel like that, to have that hostile environment even across the sea, that was impressive to really see. I'll give him the credit for that. But yeah, the other 2 losses, the Eagles game, I had that marked as a loss too, because once again, it's a hostile environment. Now with the Chiefs and Eagles, it doesn't help that they were coming off their really tough losses. The Eagles lost to the Jets in New York. The Chiefs lost to the Broncos in Denver. And both of those games, they weren't exactly close or good games. It was pretty handily a loss, right? So good teams, they don't lose two times in a row. They just don't. And it's not an excuse. Once again, none of these are excuses. It's little itty bitty reasons. When you have the Eagles coming off a loss, now they're at home, hostile environment. You have the Dolphins, also one loss coming into town. You're just going to absolutely do what you need to do. And once again, Liam Eichenberg starting at center. We had Isaiah Wynn go down in the second quarter or early third, something like that. Played a half of football with Lester Cotton and Robert Hunt. I think Robert Hunt got injured. When did Robert Hunt get injured? Was that he got injured in the Patriots game? Yeah. So, injuries all over the place. Also, with our backup left tackle, pretty much this entire time. The only two games that Armstead played was the Broncos game and part of the Bills game. No, he missed the Bills game too. He got injured in the Broncos game as well. Yeah. Oh no, he got injured in the Giants game. Sorry. Yeah, guys, our offensive line has not been healthy except for one half of football, and that was against the Broncos, and we know how that went. Our backups need to do better, and we need to get better at our silent counts. If you go all around all our games that we lost, we always have a miscue with the snap. We always have a mistimed snap. There was, in the Eagles game, on a critical second down, Tua got the snap way too late, and he ended up just taking it straight to the ground. It was supposed to be a handoff to Ahmed. And in the Chiefs game, we saw a bad snap to Tua to pretty much end the game, right? And this isn't like the first time. This isn't anything new. Against the Chargers, I think we had like 3 fumbled snaps. So the snaps got better throughout the season. However, the timing of the snaps has been up and down when you go into the hostile environments versus at home. At home, we seem to have no issues. Crowd's relatively quiet on offense versus, really, like, honestly, 3 of the toughest places to actually play in the actual environment wise. So yeah, like it's a lot of little things, and then you go into it some more. In the Bills game, Vic Fangio, everybody's still learning this defense. It's our 4th game in this defense. Xavier Howard is not shadowing Stephon Diggs, so they just have Stephon Diggs running on the same side as Cater Kohu. I love Cater Kohu. He's not on the level of Stephon Diggs. Xavier Howard, Xavier Howard targeted once in that game. It was to Khalil Shakir, and he had a critical third down stop. So he was 0 for 1 on being targeted in the Bills game. Go to the Eagles game. He wasn't really, I think he missed the Eagles game. So, he missed the Eagles game, missed the Patriots game, and then came back for the Chiefs. So, yeah, he missed the Eagles game. So, we were in there with Cater Kohu and Eli Apple against A.J. Brown and, Devontae Smith. Is that really an excuse? Because, the Jets just beat them the previous week without DJ Reed or Sauce Gardner. Not really an excuse, just a bunch of little things. We still relatively held their offense down until the end of that game. Like, the end of that game, when we were trying to, get critical stops, that's when you get critical gains, and that's pretty much what happened. We held them in check. We had an opportunity to go in and win that game, and we just didn't. We just didn't finish. And when you're trying, I think this offense needs to get a lot better in the 2-minute drill. That is one big difference that I've seen between the Flores era and the Mike McDaniel era, is that our 2-minute offense with Brian Flores was actually better than Mike McDaniel's 2-minute offense. And I think Mike McDaniel, he's still trying to, when he's doing his 2-minute offense, is still trying to make it, with the motions and everything else, but just a little bit quicker. We saw that, when we got into the red zone, down by 14-0 towards the end of the second half, or first half, we threw a screen to Tyreek Hill instead of, they had one of their corners, their best corner, Snead, was out because he was being evaluated for a concussion. Why are we throwing a screen pass there instead of trying to attack the corner? So that's That's like what I mean by like the little things. Like there are certain things like that. And, Tyreek Hill, what if he goes down instead of trying to fight through the tackle? He had potentially two extra guys coming after him. He sees that, just go down, hold on to the ball, don't fumble. He fumbled, they lateraled, fumble 6. It is what it is. It's not any one thing. There's little things in each of these games. The Bills game, we just got our butts absolutely handed to us. We didn't do anything on offense. We didn't do anything on defense. Stephon Diggs tore us up. We didn't hold them in check for anything. And the excuse I got for that, we just didn't call the right defense. And offensively, couldn't tell you why. Couldn't tell you why besides the timing. And there was a bunch of missed time snaps. Now, it got a little bit better against the Eagles, but there were still missed time snaps. They got a little bit better against the Chiefs, but there were still missed time snaps. And I think this offense, as good as it is, when it's running at 100%, best offense in the league, by far. But it's too dependent on the center and on the offensive line, and that's what I've become to see. It's too, like when I say with the center, the timing of the snaps. We need to be great, not good, great with the timing of the snaps, with our guys in motion. And in hostile environments, it's a lot harder to do that. So we need to be a lot better with our timing, a lot better coordinated up front. There was a couple times when, Tua's one of the best in the league against the blitz. I think he has like a 70-something percent completion percentage, along with 8 touchdowns and 0 picks. This game, there was a corner that came off the edge and blitzed him. He could have gotten around, could have stepped up in the pocket, except that Robert Jones and Austin Jackson got beat to the inside. So then he just had to just throw it away and eat a hit. Like, we don't need that. We don't need the little things to happen. We need to be better up front. We need to be better with the timing of the snaps. If it's too heavily timing based in these hostile environments, we're going to struggle because it's loud. You can't hear everybody. You need to get better silent snaps. You need to get better all around. And it's just the little things. It's just the little things. Waddle, he has a chance to get healthy now. Xavier Howard has a chance to get healthy. These guys bumped some bruises through the first 9 weeks of the season. Now we get to the back half of the season and we can get a little bit healthier, can get the job done. We have a good 4-game stretch to really work out these kinks before we have arguably the toughest last 3 games of the season. We come out of the bye week with the Raiders at home. Then we go against the Jets on Black Friday. Then we have against the Commanders away, and their defense has struggled, and now they've just traded away their 2 best pass rushers. So I think we'll be fine there. The Titans at home, I don't expect any problems really. And then the Jets at home. And once again, they have a great defense. But that great defense can only go so far if your offense isn't good. So if Aaron Rodgers, who he said is going to be back in a few weeks, if he's not back, I don't expect anything other than 2 dubs against the Jets. So 5-game stretch, I expect us to win all 5 of those going into the last 3-game stretch at 11-3, and hopefully we can pull out at least 2 of those wins. Thank y'all. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Be more than happy to answer them for you. It just is what it is right now. I don't think there's any reason to really be down on this team and be like, we can't fix it. I think Mike McDaniel has earned the right to fix this offense. And that's all I got for y'all today. Deuces.